So the subject that I was given to teach on is obedience. But before I get into obedience, I will jump to the result you get from obedience. That means blessings. Blessings come different ways, right? So if I sneeze, what do you say? Bless you. The air that is given by God, what is it? It's a blessing to us. The fact that you're awake this morning, it's a blessing. The fact that your existence, you being here, for your parents, for all the churches, it's a blessing. So blessings have come in different ways. And the result of obedience, it's blessings. So now, one good everlasting blessing that we get is from God. And God, as I said, for free, blessed us with everything that we have. Air to breathe, the oxygen you breathe in, the fact that you're awake today, the fact that you have parents, that's all things that have been done without your choice. It's a blessing from God. Now, there are other earthly blessings. What do the elders, when they see you, do to you guys? They say, እግዚአብሔር ያሳድግሽ, ትምህርትሽን ያሳካልሽ, ትምህርትህን ያሳካልህ. Even in our culture, there is also this thing where they spit a little bit on your forehead. That's a blessing. It's a sign of a blessing. That's someone wishing the best for you. Why? Because you're a young woman, a young boy, being present, obeying them, and when you do this, they bless you. They say, እግዚአብሔር ያሳድግሽ, እግዚአብሔር ይባርክሽ, ትምህርት ቤትሽን ይግለጽልሽ. All these are blessings that we get from the worldly, our parents and the elders. So now, the blessing of God is higher than what we got from the earthly one, from God. So now, all this comes, since there are so many things. The fact that you sang today is a blessing. You being good is a blessing. So there is, I would like you to imagine this. There is a circle of blessing. So all the blessings are in one circle. And one of the ingredients, one of the components of that circle is obedience. So when you obey, you stay in the circle and you get blessings. So now what is obedience? When your parents drive the car, do they have to stop when it is the red light? That's obedience. We humans are not out from obedience. In our daily life, we obey to rules. You have to get up in the morning, go to school. This morning, when Abba and all of them came at the same time, they are obeying the law of God. So they've been here way before us. That's obedience. So everything that we do in our life have to do with obeying. When you go to school, your teachers, you have to obey. When you come home, your parents, you have to obey. Everything that we do is obeying. So it's not new for us. But now there are two different type of obeying. Obeying for the wrong thing and obeying for the right thing. Right? So now there is, in the Bible, there are places where the apostles were asked to stop preaching about Jesus. What did they do? The law says, do not preach about Jesus. What did they do? They kept preaching. Why? They said, we will not obey to the law of the man. We will obey God because Jesus told them to obey. This is what happens to you on your daily life. Someone will come and say something wrong, or your friends, peer pressure, they will say, hey, let's jump off the cliff. No, you will not jump off the cliff. Let's do something wrong. No, you will not do something wrong because you obey only to the truth and to the godly things. So obeying has two things. When you're told to do something wrong, you don't just obey just because obedience is part of the blessing. You obey to the right thing. Now, who are the ones who are close to you that you have to obey all the time? Your parents. Your parents are a gift from God to you, and you are a gift to them. So on the earthly, while you live on your daily life, obeying to your parents who love you unconditionally, it's a sign that you will obey God as well. Because one thing that I'll read you this passage where obedience shouldn't come out of fear, but out of love. Right? So you shouldn't fear to obey. It has to come out of love and respect. So I will read that passage, John 14:23. So John 14:33, this is Jesus answering to the people who were around him. Jesus answered and said to him, "If anyone loves me, he will keep my word." That means obey my word. "And my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him." What a great blessings. After saying, if you love me, obey me, then my Father and I will be with you at all times. What? This is the highest reward you can get as a human being. The one God who loves you saying, I will be there, but you have to obey me. And the obedience come out of love. So you should not fear to obey, but you should love and respect to obey. So your parents who are around you, all elders who are around you, your siblings around you, you should obey them because you love them. So that's a key thing. Love has to be present for you to obey. Okay, that's one. So now, who's in the Bible who received a message from an angel and she obeyed right there and then? Who? Mary. She didn't even question. Not Mary here. Mary, Jesus' mother, right? So she came, and when the angel Gabriel came and asked her that she will have a son, and it's very unnatural, but she will have a son and he will be the king of the world, she didn't hesitate. She obeyed. She said, let it be as you say, because it's a message from God. Another one is the story that I really like, who through difficult times, whether it's difficult time or good times, we have to obey because it's out of love, is Joseph. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. Joseph was betrayed by the queen. Joseph was betrayed by his prison mates, but he kept obeying God out of love. He could have done what the queen asked him to do, but he didn't, because the king wasn't there, but he obeyed God out of love. So if it is love, fear doesn't exist. So if you love your parents so dearly, obeying is easy, whether they're there or not. But first, before your parents, you have to obey God. When you obey God, the one you cannot see but feel, then it's easy to obey your parents. With one understanding, with love, not with fear. Okay? So now, the Bible is very straightforward in telling you about obedience. And it says, mother, father, children. So one that I want you to remember is Proverbs 6:20-23. So Proverbs 6:20-23 reads, my son. So this can be also for a daughter. So my son or my daughter, keep your father's command and do not forsake the law of your mother. Bind them continually upon your heart. When you roam, they will lead you. When you sleep, they will keep you. And when you awake, they will speak with you. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light. So for you guys, even to make it into this world, what you have to hold on as a lamp and light is the commandments of God and the commandments of your parents. And obeying comes in that. And the blessings you get, we already covered it. So now, I'll conclude with this. One thing is, you need to know, is love. Love, out of love comes obedience. Out of obedience come blessings. We saw what blessings are. We confirmed that obedience is a must to get blessings. It says it in the Bible. And now, between you and the parents, they might say things that you don't like. Do you have to obey all the time? Yes, you do obey, but the way you handle it, the way you talk to your parents should come out from love and respect and obedience. So it's not to be rebellion against what they said because you didn't hear what you want to hear. But obey them first, respect them first, love them first, and then you can have the discussion. Oh, mom, dad, this is what I actually wanted. So being rebellion, being saying, oh, my parents, they're not even from this century. Isn't that what you guys said? So having that attitude doesn't help. So obeying comes with it. Love comes with it. So please take your time, obey them first, love them first, respect them first, and you would have a discussion of what would you like and what they actually want you to accomplish. But one thing for sure, as a parent, I can tell you, your parents love you unconditionally. After God, it's parents who are given the responsibility to take care of you and to guide you in this world. So once you obey God and read His words and do whatever you're doing as Christians, the next thing is it starts at home. So you should really obey your parents because they are there through hard times and to the good times and also to the hard times. So I will conclude with my favorite verse, that is in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2 to 3. And it reads, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is the right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise." That's it, straightforward in the Bible. But you have to obey them in God. So God comes first, and then parents. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, amen.